Azerbaijan's President Ilham Aliyev has accused Russia of mistakenly firing at an Azerbaijan Airlines passenger jet before it crashed. He also accused what he called some circles in Russia of trying to cover up the truth. The crash near the Kazakh city of Aktau killed 38 of the 67 people on board. Russian President Vladimir Putin has apologized for what he called a tragic incident in Russian airspace. Azerbaijan is demanding an outright admission of guilt and compensation to the Azerbaijani state. For more, let's go to our former Moscow bureau chief, Yuri Reshetto, who relocated to Riga when Russia closed our operation in Moscow. Yuri, President Aliyev accuses Russia of a cover-up. How has that gone down in Moscow?
Well, the Russian news agencies have reported this in a, let's say, softened version. They only say that Aliyev expects a real apology from Putin. However, we know that the two presidents spoke again on the phone today. Aliyev doesn't seem to be satisfied with what he heard from President Putin yesterday. In his apology yesterday, Putin spoke neither of Russia's guilt nor of the fact that Russian missile fire caused the incident. It was already obvious that it was a half-hearted apology yesterday. Aliyev, on the other hand, you said it, insisted that Moscow take full responsibility and pay compensation to both the families of the victims and the Azerbaijani state.
Now, if Aliyev is right and this is a Russian cover-up, are you expecting Moscow to come out and take the blame for it?
Well, look, the indications of a missile strike were there right from the start, as we remember that the bullet holes were already visible on the plane on the first day. Instead, Putin simply spoke of an incident or tragic incident in Russian airspace. It's unclear whether Russia will take full responsibility, as Azerbaijan has demanded. What is clear is that President Putin has trapped himself with his half-hearted apology, because if he now goes one step further and apologizes in full, it looks as if he is giving in to pressure from the Azerbaijani president. I don't think the head of the Kremlin would like this role, but as I said, the two presidents spoke again personally today earlier.
So what does this all mean for Russian-Azerbaijani relations then?
I would like to remind our viewers of a similar case in 2015 to understand what does it mean for the Russian-Azerbaijani relations. A Russian fighter jet was accidentally shot down by the Turkish Air Force back then. This was followed by a half-hearted apology from Turkish President Erdogan to Putin, which in turn led to a real rift between Russia and Turkey. Because the Turks didn't take the full blame at the highest level, the Russians were so angry that a real political crisis between the two states resulted. This time everything is the other way around. The Russians are not victims but guilty, and instead of NATO members Turkey, as 10 years ago, it's now about a close ally Azerbaijan. Let's remind you, Russia and Azerbaijan are factual and legal allies in many areas, including the military. That's why this is a disaster. This air disaster is a blow to bilateral relations, but I don't expect a real political crisis between Russia and Azerbaijan.
Yuri, thank you very much. That's our former Moscow bureau chief, Yuri Reshetto, reporting from Riga.